everyone, I'm Brian Easterday and welcome back to Eye of the Storm Astrology. So today I'm going to be continuing my video series, Sun Through the Signs, and I'll be discussing the qualities of Sun when it enters the sign of Capricorn. But before I get into that, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and do yourself a favor and hit that notification bell as well. That way you don't miss out on any videos that could be helping you turn your challenges into strengths. So what are the qualities of the Sun when it enters the sign of Capricorn? Well, this is one that can give people a lot of ability to achieve success, although it can be one that is maybe a bit of a delayed success, or they kind of have to work for it. They maybe don't hit it until they're without a lot of hard work or until their mid-30s or so. The reason being is that Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn, and it's the internal or the feminine expression of Saturn. So it's where we're feeling a lot of that pressure and that weight and heaviness of Saturn, and we're feeling it internally. So we're learning a lot of the lessons of how do we get organized, how do we get disciplined, how do we work hard. But on the flip side of that, where do we save our energy? How do we not get burnt out? What is worth actually working towards? What's a goal that's actually worth our energy? So there'll be a lot of those kind of theme of lessons going on here. Now, Sun can do well here because Capricorn is also, it's an earth sign. So it can kind of make a person very grounded, very down to earth. They'll be a very practical type of person, very realistic type of person. They'll tend to be goal-oriented, hardworking, because both Capricorn and the Sun are very goal-oriented. There'll be people that can look at the long-term goal, see that like, oh, this isn't something I know I'm not going to achieve this today or tomorrow or the next week. This might be something that takes me years or decades or something like that, that you can definitely see that. They can be people that end up being in positions of management, because Capricorn can deal with, it's like a sign of service, a sign of work, kind of your average laborer, your average Joe, that type of person. And Sun being here, Sun can be an authority. So a person could either be a person who is just a general laborer, say like a construction worker or plumber or something like that, or they could be a person who manages those people. They're an authority for those type of people. It could kind of work out either way. You can sometimes see a person who ends up being in government with this type of thing, or a person potentially who's even, say, like a soldier in the military. Those type of things could also be ones. This could also be a good position for anyone who is doing any type of, say, like farming work, because one, it's something that it takes time to do things. Your crops don't just grow in a day. It's seasons and it's cycles, which is something Saturn deals with. But then also, as a farmer rancher, you're going to be dealing with things like compost, like recycling dead things, mulching old branches and taking firewood and reusing, recycling, repurposing a lot of different things. And that's what like Saturn is all about. It's the ending of things, it's waste. So like when you think about, farmer, and they go get a bunch of like manure and they're using like all that shit or whatever to fertilize their garden stuff, that's totally a Saturn type of thing. It's being able to take something that other people view as waste and then turn it into something valuable, something that gives life. So those are some different, potential careers. Also like someone who might be in like the tech field, working with tech, diagnosing issues, like problem solving, that type of thing. Both Capricorn and Virgo, both being earth signs, but they have some similar energies as well, where they're both good at problem solving and organizing and those type of things. Now, what are some of the downsides of the Sun when it comes into the sign of Capricorn? Well, they could potentially become stuck. That's the downside of any earth sign, is that it can become stuck. It can become too rigid, too strict, too stubborn. they could potentially have like a temper if things don't go their way, because Sun is like a fiery planet. It's our ego, and then Capricorn is kind of about control and about organization and having things a certain way. So if that doesn't happen, sometimes they might get a little bit angry or a little bit irritated or upset. That could definitely be a downside of it. Maybe just being cold or distant in their expression towards other, because Saturn's a planet, it's very heavy and it's far away, so it's very cold, it's distant, it's far from us, it's far from the light of the sun. So it can definitely be one where a person can be a little bit stoic or a little bit like just appear cold and distant to others. And this will depend on other planets being there and other things in the chart as well, but this is kind of like a general quality that could potentially come up in an unhealthy way. And in Vedic mythology, we have to understand that Surya, the sun, and Shuni, who is Saturn, they're actually considered enemies. They don't have a good relationship because Shuni, Saturn, is kind of like the bastard child of the sun in the mythology. So they kind of clash heads because of that, because the sun never really accepted Saturn. So then Saturn, kind of has some issues with the sun. So Capricorn being a sign that is ruled by Saturn, it's not necessarily the sun's like favorite place to be because of that, but at the same time, there is a lot of synastry that can happen because, and you'll notice this, people who argue or fight with each other, a lot of times they can be people who are, they're similar. Generally you're not fighting or arguing with someone who is like above you because you want to respect that person. You could learn from them, they could help you out. Someone below you, you want to be like compassionate to them and all those type of things. So the people we compete with the most, those tend to be the people that are similar to us. So the sun and Saturn have similar qualities, even though they don't necessarily get along, but they're the signs that Saturn rules of Capricorn. And in my next video, I'll talk about Aquarius. The sun can actually do well there, although there are some potential challenges. Now, what's the higher expression or the healthy expression of sun when it enters into Capricorn? Well, both go-oriented. So, and this is another great position for being able to achieve your goals, being able to have the patience to do the hard work and do things that are long-term goals. A benefit of this would be learning how to use Saturn in the sense of also knowing when not to waste your energy. Like, hey, this isn't something that's actually going to be rewarding for me, for myself, because keep in mind, this is the sun. So this isn't something I'm going to waste my energy on. Or if there's a relationship or a business partnership or something like that where it's not healthy, you're feeling like you're having to give too much, or you're the one doing all the work, or you're feeling drained, don't go along with that. And this is a trick here for sun in Capricorn and this is how you can test whether something's good for you. At the end of the interaction, like with a person, like after, and don't just judge this off of one thing, but over a period of time. But if you notice that if you're dealing with a person and you're feeling drained afterwards, it's not a person you should be interacting with. And this is a general, this can apply to everybody, but especially someone with sun and Cancer, this is part of the lesson for them, because Saturn is showing us where not to waste our energy. So if you are feeling drained, specifically like yourself, it's a surefire sign that what your job, if you go to your job and you feel drained after and uninspired, if you're in a relationship, a friendship, whatever it may be, if it leaves you feeling drained, that's not for you. Find the things that leave you feel excited. They make you feel nourished and fulfilled, and that it's going to give you the energy to continue going longer. That's the thing that Saturn is trying to draw you towards. So pay attention to those feelings and then align yourself with goals and things that leave you feeling inspired and energized, and then work towards those things rigorously. Become organized, become disciplined and focused and dedicated. Like dedication and devotion are some of Saturn's greatest lessons that they have to teach us. So that's definitely how you can take a sun in Capricorn, extract the most value from it. So you can really be a person who achieves a lot in life, especially if it's falling into, say, like a nakshatra of like Uttara Ashada, definitely be a person who you're going to like succeed in life at whatever it is you set your mind to. So make sure that you're having goals that are worthwhile and then go about achieving those. So that's going to wrap this video up, guys. I hope you found it valuable. If you did, let me know in the comments below, and also hit that like button, subscribe, and then do yourself a favor as well and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any of these other videos that could be helping you turn your challenges into strengths. If you need to contact me about booking consultations, courses, or asking me a question, you can click the link below in the description that goes to my link tree, and that is a one-stop shop for my website, my social media services, so you can inquire about getting any of my services and following along with all my work. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Remember, by creating more awareness, we create more opportunity to be the best version of ourselves. I appreciate your guys' support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.